In today's digital world, our lives are more connected than ever before. But with that connection comes a dark side. Millions of people and businesses fall victim to hackers, scammers, and cyber criminals using increasingly sophisticated techniques. So what are the most common cyber attacks? And how can you protect yourself from becoming the next victim? Stick around, because today we're counting down the top 10 most common cyber attacks and showing you how to stay safe in the digital age. Number 10, denial of service dues and distributed denial of service DDoS attacks. At number 10 are denial of service and distributed denial of service attacks, often called dues and DDoS. These attacks flood a server or website with so much traffic that it crashes or slows to a crawl. Imagine trying to get into your favorite coffee shop, but a massive crowd keeps blocking the entrance. DDoS attacks can take down banks, government websites, and gaming servers. In 2020, one of the largest DDoS attacks ever recorded targeted Amazon Web Services with 2.3 terabits per second of junk traffic. How to stay safe? While individuals are rarely the direct target, if you run a business, investing in DDoS protection and working with your hosting provider is critical. Number 9, man-in-the-middle MITM attacks. Number 9 is the sneaky man-in-the-middle attack, or MITM. This is when a hacker secretly intercepts communication between two parties, like between your phone and a website, to steal information or insert malicious content. Public Wi-Fi hotspots are a common hunting ground for MITM attackers. Without encryption, they can see your login details, emails, or even banking info. How to stay safe? Always use secure connections, look for HTTPS, avoid public Wi-Fi for sensitive tasks, and consider using a VPN when on untrusted networks. Number 8, SQL injection. At number 8 is SQL injection, one of the oldest but still most dangerous cyber attacks. This happens when a hacker inserts malicious code into a website's input fields like a login box or search bar to gain unauthorized access to the site's database. They could steal personal data, payment information, or even take over the entire site. Many data breaches you hear about start with a simple SQL injection. How to stay safe? This one's on website developers. They must validate input and use proper security coding practices. As a user, be cautious where you enter sensitive data. Number 7, zero-day exploits. Number 7 is the terrifying zero-day exploit. This attack targets a software vulnerability that the vendor doesn't even know about. Hackers rush to exploit the flaw before it can be patched. Zero-day exploits have been used to attack everything from operating systems to browser plugins, and they're often used in high-profile espionage. How to stay safe? Keep all your devices and apps updated. Patches often contain fixes for newly discovered vulnerabilities.
Number 6, password attacks. Coming in at number 6, password attacks. These attacks aim to steal or crack your password through techniques like brute force, trying millions of combinations, dictionary attacks guessing common passwords, or credential stuffing using leaked passwords from other breaches. Weak or reused passwords are a gold mine for hackers. Once they're in, they can access your email, bank, or social accounts. How to stay safe? Use complex, unique passwords for every account and enable two-factor authentication wherever possible. A password manager can help you keep track. Number 5, phishing. At number 5 is the infamous phishing attack, and it's probably the most common trick cyber criminals use. Phishing emails, texts, or calls pretend to be from trusted sources like your bank, a delivery service, or even a friend. Their goal: to trick you into revealing sensitive data or clicking a malicious link. Spear phishing, a more targeted version, can fool even experienced professionals. How to stay safe? Be skeptical of unsolicited messages asking for personal data. Check email addresses carefully, don't click suspicious links, and when in doubt, contact the company directly through official channels. Number 4, ransomware. Number 4 is the devastating ransomware attack. Ransomware encrypts your files, locking you out of your own data until you pay a ransom, often in cryptocurrency. Hospitals, schools, and city governments have all fallen victim, sometimes paying millions to recover their systems. Some famous examples include WannaCry and Revil attacks that crippled infrastructure worldwide. How to stay safe? Regularly back up your important data to offline storage. Avoid clicking unknown attachments or links, and use strong antivirus software that can block known ransomware. Number 3, social engineering. At number 3 is social engineering, the art of tricking people rather than machines. Hackers might pose as IT support, delivery people, or even your co-workers to get information or access. They rely on human trust and error more than technical skill. In one famous case, hackers gained access to a company's internal systems just by sweet-talking a receptionist into resetting a password. How to stay safe. Always verify identities before sharing information or granting access. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, it probably is. Number 2, malware. Number 2 is the broad category of malware. Malicious software designed to damage, steal, or spy. Malware includes viruses, worms, trojans, spyware, and more. Once on your system, it can steal passwords, delete files, or even take control of your device. Malware often spreads through infected email attachments, malicious downloads, or compromised websites. How to stay safe. Avoid downloading software from untrusted sources, keep your operating system and security software updated, and be cautious when opening attachments or clicking links. Number 1, insider threats, and finally, at number 1, insider threats, a risk many people overlook, but one of the most dangerous of all. Sometimes the biggest threat to your digital safety doesn't come from faceless hackers overseas, it comes from people you already trust. Employees, contractors, business partners, or even volunteers with legitimate access can intentionally or accidentally expose sensitive data, sabotage systems, or leak confidential information. Insider attacks are particularly dangerous because these people already have the keys to the castle. They might steal intellectual property for personal gain, act out of revenge, or simply be careless and leave data exposed. Research shows that nearly 30% of data breaches involve insiders, whether through malicious intent or human error. That makes insider threats among the hardest to detect and prevent. How to stay safe. Businesses must build a strong culture of security awareness, carefully manage access permissions, and monitor for unusual activity inside their networks. Encouraging open communication, providing ethics training, and conducting regular audits can also help reduce the risk of insider attacks. For individuals, remember that even friends or colleagues might accidentally expose you if you overshare passwords or confidential details, so always practice caution no matter how trusted the relationship seems. Cyber attacks are a growing danger, but by understanding these common threats, you've already taken a powerful first step toward protecting yourself and your personal data. In today's world, almost everything we do leaves a digital footprint. Our photos, bank accounts, medical records, and even our private messages live online, making them potential targets for cyber criminals. That's why it's so important to build habits that keep you secure, keeping your software updated, using strong and unique passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, and staying cautious about what you click or download. A healthy dose of skepticism can go a long way toward avoiding scams. And always remember, cybersecurity isn't a one-time fix, it's a mindset and a lifestyle. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss our deep dives into the world's most important and fascinating topics. Drop a comment below. Have you ever faced a cyber attack? Share your story so others can learn from it. Until next time, stay safe, stay smart, and as always, keep exploring with us.